Yeah, they're asking her to use the side kick, that front leg side kick, and Yang Xiaonan has an excellent one to keep Zhang Weili away from her. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep. She's in command.
Yeah, she stands kind of bladed when she's going to show it. But when you're dealing with someone that has a really good sidekick, it's a very odd weapon. You see it a lot of times with Wonder Boy.
Oh, nice right hand.
Yeah, I feel like they believe they stung her there.
Yo, Zhang Weili's arms are fatigued. You're really seeing it in the speed of these punches. I mean, she can recover. She has incredible training. But you're seeing the result of her trying to end. Oh, look at this.
They heard the Yang Xiaonan desperately yelling for their fighter to stay out the cage. They wanted to keep kicking here.
Yeah, but
these little kicks hurt right into the thigh.
Yeah, Yang Xiaonan is really killing those legs. Zhang Weili is definitely getting the worst of this. I mean, she's landing those to the thigh, but the ones that are hitting with the shin underneath her leg, those are a lot more powerful.
Pause in the action allows Herzog to step in. Zhang Weili back to her feet, and not a great visual there.
You know, your co-host and the good guy and the bad guy once famously said, when you try to win by knockout and you don't, you almost always lose by decision.
Yep. You get exhausted.
Yeah.
And she emptied the tank in that second round. Now, was that a 10-8 round? She obviously won round one. She could have 3 rounds in the bank.
Yes.
To this point.
Right, with the 10-8.
Yes.
Well, Yang Xiaonan firmly back in this fight as we cross the midpoint of round 3.
It seems like the much fresher fighter, clear mind, clear in her approach, listening to her corner.
But Zhang Weili still has pop in those kicks. And if I was in her corner, I would be telling her to use her legs more. You throw those kicks. Her arms might be exhausted, but the kicks are still coming full speed.
They both landed, but it looked like Zhang Weili took the worst of that.
Yeah, it looks like she got hurt.
Look at that. Desperation.
Gets her down.
Yeah, we just caught that replay in our isolation monitor. Both fighters landed hard shots. Zhang Weili closes the guard here under 90 seconds, round 3 of a possible 5. Alex Pineda, Jamal Hill waiting in the wings.
This fight is getting very interesting.
Yes, it is. And if you are Zhang Weili's corner, you are not loving the way that your fighter looks right now.
You just have to admire the grit of these two young women. I mean, just incredible. Oh! Beautiful sweep.
Just a great fighting instinct there by Yang Xiaonan.
In the biggest fight of her life, Yang Xiaonan is rising to the occasion.
There can be no doubt.
There's that side kick again.
And I'm being told John Wood is saying no kicks to Zhang Weili as she throws one there to the inside of that lead leg of Xiaonan.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, especially because she's shorter. And in the boxing, Yang Xiaonan is the one that's really winning the exchanges. And the kicks are such a massive part of Zhang Weili's game.
I think she just thinks she's exhausted. Oh! Look at that takedown attempt. Nice knee to the body by Yang Xiaonan.
Here's your right. Here's your order. Round number 4 here. Okay? Probably up 2-1, so we got to go out and we got to make sure we win this round. The only time, no more kicks, nothing low. Only high kicks. Every time you kick low, she's catching and making you pay for it, okay? So only high kicks. Watch the side. She's catching all that, okay? Press her back to the cage.
Hey, that was right round. This is why we spar hard. She hasn't done this now. Now this is your time. 2 rounds.
Right hand.
Let's go.
Right hand. Keep throwing the right hand. Hook cross. All day. Start with the jab. Hook cross.
Yan Xiaonan barely breathing heavily at all, entering these championship rounds for the first time.
Well, Team Alpha Mare they have really prepared her well.
Did have a 5-round majority decision win over Mackenzie Dern back in 2022. Round 4, Dean Thomas, what do you have?
John Wood is right. Weili Zhang should not be kicking these low kicks right now because it takes her too long to get back into position. And that's the reason why she's getting countered. It just takes her too long to get back in position. If she's going to kick, she should kick high to keep her hands up of Yan. But the low kicks, she's just getting countered.
I was once told when I was training, hard high kicks can get defended, not countered. So I think that's what Dean and Wood are alluding to, because right now, those low kicks are making her, or she's making her pay.
Crushing right hand a moment ago by Xiaonan.
John Wood told Zhang Weili.
Again. She threw low and she got countered.
Every time.
That was a perfect example of that.
Perfect example.
Yan Xiaonan's execution of what her corner has asked her to do has been spectacular.
And that was a beautiful right-left that she just landed, as the corner called for. In between rounds, they were talking about the right hand and the left hook, and she just landed both of them. There's a beautiful shot. Oh!
Her hips are too high, though.
She wound up on the back.
Xiaonan's hips were way too high. She tried to step over. She made a mistake there trying to step over.
But she seems like she's fresher.
But she's so much fresher. She's isolating the hand, going to her wizard. Now she's back up to her feet. Oh, she got rotated down there.
Hard knee by Zhang Weili. Happy to be grappling again.
Zhang Weili is looking at this clock right now going, please let me keep some top control. Let me find a way to put this round in the bank so I am sure that I can win this fight, because right now the momentum has shifted so much in Yan Xiaonan's corner. It's unbelievable. From where this fight started, Xiaonan seemingly finished at the end of round 1, getting dominating in round 2 to where she's now.
Zhang Weili 4 of 7 on her takedown attempts thus far.
Zhang Weili doing a really good job controlling the right wrist of Yan Xiaonan. Yan needs to get that left elbow back under to try to catch an underhook. As she rotates back towards Zhang Weili, that will present an opportunity for Weili to step over into the mount. But it will get her off of her back in this stalling position. Almost.
Wrist control on that right arm for Zhang Weili. A few strikes being mixed in here.
She pulled the cage to rotate herself a little bit.
She's done it before. She did it earlier in the fight, and Jason Herzog reprimanded her at the end of the last round.
But I mean, this is ideal for Zhang Weili. Spending time on top, landing punches. She flattens her out again. mean, this is a great bounce back round by Zhang Weili.
Huge bounce back round.
And looking at that control time there, in her best rounds, they are spending a lot of time grappling. Because she's the better grappler, especially when she's on top and she can stop the first move.
Xiaonan has pushed hard here defensively, but as yet unable to escape. Nice shots here by Zhang Weili. Nice job by the champ, sort of flipping the recent script here, round 4.
Especially after getting dropped to start the round.
Some swelling around that right eye of the challenger.
She's just going to hang on here for the last 5.
All right, 20 minutes down, 5 to decide it.
Come on. Come on. Sit down.
Breathe.
Yeah, it's very important. I need you to stay off the cage. She's backing you up to the cage and she's shooting off the cage. When we get to the cage, you got to change your belt line. You got to get lower, looking for underhooks. You understand? You understand? Okay.
Listen.
It's down. We're working for control. Hips in, tight, everything. Josh, anything? Let's look to get her back. We're going to push her back to the fence. Push her back to the fence. Put her on the ground, and you stay there. Okay? Pick your shots. Last round. This is it. Everything you got. Last round. This is it right now. Championship. Let's go.
You know what it is, round 5. Brought to you by Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, the official electric trimmer of UFC. Visit manscaped.com now.
And you're getting the bad position, okay? Do not grab the cage. Do you understand? Yes? Thank you.
So Jason Herzog just said that if you do it again, I'm taking away a point and you're getting a bad position. So whatever she did to grab the fence, you put her back to where they were before she did it.
Well, we saw it right here, and then you said you saw it earlier in the fight, so that one was very clear that she used it to rotate herself.
Yeah, she used it at the end of the 3rd as well. She was just using it to hold on. Oh. At the end of the 3rd, she was just using it to hold Zhang Weili against the cage.
Beautiful head kick early, round 5 from Zhang Weili. Now going high with those kicks. Nice entry to get her 5th takedown of the fight.
Now here, Xiaonan has a chance. She's got to get up on her elbow. Right now, she's on a single leg. She's got to turn her hips back towards the mat.
Yeah, she seems
trying
a
to
little
wrestle a
lost.
single. Yeah. Right here.
Yeah.
She's got to try to flip her hips to wrestle the single leg. You don't hook the legs of your opponent unless you're going to try to sweep across your back. But that's much more difficult. Oh, she did it.
She did it.
That's because Weili tried to step over into the mount.
Well, also, Yan Xiaonan has really good butterflies. She's very good at elevating from the bottom.
John Wood looking for another takedown here. Could be one takedown away from potentially retaining this title. But if you wondered as to whether or not Yan Xiaonan was ready for this showcase in prime time, she's answered a lot of questions tonight.
That's what I was going to say, John.
No question.
When she was named the #1 contender, there were people that go, oh, well, really? No, she's as good as I've advertised. She belonged here, and she's done a really good job.
If she can tighten up her grappling.
That's the problem. It's just such a glaring hole, right?
Yes. Almost spun out of it. Almost.
But like right here, this is where she would need to improve. Building steps to get away from people, because when she gets flattened out, she doesn't seem to have any answers. Now, that could be due to the fact that she's in there with the best in the world.
Yes.
Zhang Weili is an amazing grappler in her own right. but you're judging her based on her being one of the best in the world herself. But again, and right now, that's what's separating her from Zhang Weili.
Yes, and DC, you've talked about this so many times. Even if she loses here, she's going to get the rub. She'll be a much better fighter now. And also knowing that she's in there against one of the best of all time, and she's done an amazing account.
Especially after what Zhang Weili did to Amanda Lemmer.
Yes.
And it seemed like she was going to run away from the division. Yan Xiaonan goes in there, drops her 3 times, I think, over the course of the fight, and gave Weili some very worrisome moments through the mid part of this fight. But as most champions do, Zhang Weili was able to right the ship. And now she's cruising again.
And use her full set of skills. The difference is how well-rounded Zhang Weili is and how she's able to adjust.
Yep, and Yan Xiaonan acknowledged as much all week.
That's what makes her so dangerous. With all those skills, natural gifts that she has, her ability to work hard, it's all the skills that she has developed over the course of his career. Especially while competing at the highest level.
Yan Xiaonan, if she can keep rotating towards her left, if Zhang Weili doesn't have the strength to hold her in here, she might be able to pop out of this. Nope, not anymore. Now she got the hooks.
Zhang Weili also finding maybe a second wind or those tank reserves in these championship rounds.
Incredible conditioning that she has.
Final minute.
Man, she drained herself early in the fight.
Dude.
So this might be the one time where Chael P. Sutton is wrong.
Yeah.
You guys right a lot.
He would never tell you he was wrong, though. Now, you know, Zhang Weili did a great job late of stopping, fighting the explosions of Yan Xiaonan. She just followed. If you want to go left, I'll follow you left and beat you to the next position. I'm not going to resist everything because in resisting everything, I've lost it. Last 2 rounds, she's done a really good job of managing Yan Xiaonan, and she won both of those rounds handily.
And there's your final horn. Their lives inexorably linked forever. Zhang Weili and Yan Xiaonan go the 25-minute distance in this historic first matchup of 2 Chinese fighters competing for UFC gold.
What a display of heart and determination by both women. I mean,
unreal.
That was a war.
Zhang Weili, title potentially hung in the balance. Middle of that fight came on strongly.
Now, this is the craziest moment of the fight. She was not tapping. In the end of the round, she is out cold. Zhang Weili pushes her off, and for a minute, we thought maybe the fight was over.
Right. Yeah, you can't be saved by the bell, but she got back to her feet.
And here's the second round. Arm triangle, almost put out again, but managed to rotate her way out of it. Just with grit. What a fight. And here's that side kick that they were calling for from Yan Xiaonan. She hit it with the toes instead of the heel, but still, tremendous.
Beautiful job there. And look, Yan Xiaonan doesn't get this opportunity if Rudy, the cut man, doesn't do such a great job. He just came over and said, you press your finger at the base of the nose, and it opens up the breathing. So when somebody gets dropped or hurt, that's what happens. So he gave her an opportunity. But right here, Zhang Weili late took over in the fight. Takedown after takedown, top control allowed for her to retain her championship, John, or at least it feels that way.
Yeah. And got to acknowledge the referee, Jason Herzog, had the right guy in there to navigate that end of round 1 situation. But Zhang Weili proving to be the class of this 115-pound division, and Yan Xiaonan right there. And that's got to feel good for Xiaonan, getting acknowledged by the UFC CEO, Dana White. All right, the official decision brought to you by Heart Tools, with over 800 quality tools to maintain your home, yard, and car, available at Walmart. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 49-45 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC strawweight of the world, Magnum Weili.